Welcome to What's the Deal with Sam? Starring Sam Lilly. Join Sam as he discusses a wide variety of topics.
Batman.
Now let's start the show.
Thank you. What's the deal with having an invincible mode in Star Fox Zero? It's like having a difficulty mode with the ground. I mean, restart. What's the deal with having an invincibility difficulty in Star Fox Zero? It's like an easy difficulty with the ground. I only heard about this because, I guess it was posted on like a Twitter or some shit about a mode in Star Fox Zero that isn't even out yet, but it's coming. It's coming soon. That it's going to have a mode where you can't die. Your ship is invincible. You can't be killed. I heard about it through Jim Sterling's episode on it. And I guess I'm kind of reacting to that a bit. Not reacting, I'm responding. That's the word. But basically that's the mode they put into there, and where you can't die. And then a lot of people were understandably upset that this kind of thing was thrown in, because that's kind of a it's kind of a big leap there. And I don't have to tell you, you may have already seen that by now if you're watching me anyway, but in the video that Jim Sterling did, he was talking about how, people are bitching about this, and he's saying, it's stupid that people are complaining that there's an option in the game that you can do, that there's some mode in there that isn't specifically designed for you, and you're upset about it, and how that's dumb. And I get the angle, I do. But okay, so here's the thing too, is that it'd be different if we're talking about something like Dark Souls, or like if you play Dark Souls because it's punishingly difficult, and it's like, I'm here to have it's really, really hard, it's not holding my hand, I have to figure this shit out, I have to do it myself, and that's really the appeal, because a lot of modern games weren't doing that. And I guess, imagine they put in a mode in there where, in a Dark Souls game, where it's like, here's a easy mode where you, like it's super easy, you just breezing through it, it's just killing everything, and it's telling you where to go. And that would kind of go against the spirit of a Dark Souls game. It's not like it couldn't be there, it's not like it shouldn't be there, necessarily, even either. But it certainly takes away from a lot of the appeal, and would be going against the reasons that a lot of people wanted to play it in the first place. On the flip side, something like a Kirby game, which are, Kirby games are generally pretty easy, and they're known for being very easy and fun and light like that. All of a sudden they just had a fucking nightmare mode, and you're just like, let's just make it so it's super hard, and they're not really telling you where you're supposed to go, what you're supposed to do, and it's just, insanely difficult. Yeah, you could do that. There's no reason you shouldn't do that necessarily, but it's not really why you play a Kirby game. And I feel like that's kind of a thing where it's like, for games like that, difficulty is definitely ingrained into what they are, so changing the difficulty to cater to different people would be going against a lot of the charm and the appeal of the games. However, Star Fox, I don't feel like it was ever really about difficulty. You always had some kind of options for different paths and stuff to do, and some different modes and whatever. So it's not like it's really dictated by difficulty, and that's why I think that would be okay to have something like that, right? I understand that's not really what it's about, and of course it's an optional option. It's an option, so you don't have to do it, so you shouldn't be too upset about it, I guess. But here's the thing with that, is that it's not like this is just an easy mode where things are simpler, Even the beginner mode in Guitar Hero is you have to hit the fucking, the strum bar But you still have to hit it on beat, you know. Even if you don't have to pick your notes, you still have to hit it on the beat somewhat, you know, to get to go correctly. There was still something to do there. There was some kind of active challenge. I guess there is no fail mode. But, but this is kind of a thing where it's like, in other Nintendo games, there's stuff like in the, I believe it was Super Mario 3D Land, I think, where if you died on a level so many times, an item block would appear and you could get like a like golden like Tanuki suit, and you could just, you know, you can't be hurt then through the level. There's like stuff in Donkey Kong Country Returns where if you die in a level so many times, like you can choose to just like have this Super Kong character just go through the level for you and beat it, you know, like, and then you can skip to the next level. And that stuff at least makes a little bit of sense to me, in that, well, people who aren't as good want to still experience the rest of the game. I get that, so they just do the stuff to skip the levels, right? That's totally fine. Like, I mean, like, I don't use it, but it's nice that it's there for people who want to see the rest of the game. However, it's not like a level skip that they're talking about for this invincible mode. Like, it isn't like, oh, you can get invincible, like you choose to do that if you die so many times on a level. It's like, or like you can choose to skip a level or something. It's like, no, this is a mode you're picking from the start. As far as I know anyway, if it's a mode, that means you're picking it from the start. And from start to finish, you can't die. So the challenge isn't in trying to stay alive. There's no way you'll actually lose unless you turn off the game. It's just going to be that you have to do the thing. You have to maybe you have to beat the clock on some stuff. That could be a thing, I guess. You still have to shoot stuff. You probably have to still shoot bosses. But a lot of the levels are probably going to be, you know, linear levels as well. The on-rail shooting stuff. Which means that you're just going to have a fucking tour through the game because you can't die. So, like, you know, there's no incentive. Like, an easy mode would be one thing. But having a mode where you literally cannot die, you know, give me infinite lives or you know, and continues, and give me an easy mode where it's a lot simpler to do the stuff. Totally, you know, but like, don't make it so there's nothing. There's no challenge in that. There's none. And I'm not gonna say that, you know, that's necessarily bad for everyone, but it seems weird to throw in a mode like that where it's like, hey, do you want to like just look at a thing? You know, you can just you know, just pick up a fucking Wii U controller and just fiddle with that while you're watching a movie. It's going to be almost the same thing. And that's why it's annoying, is that at that point, you know, is it still a game? I guess you can interact with it, but usually a game has some kind of win-lose scenario. It's like, you know, there's some kind of thing you can do to win it and some kind of way you can lose. And if there's no way to lose, then what does winning even mean, I guess, is the point. It's like there's no challenge, there's no difficulty, there's just, you know, it's just a matter of time. Just like watch the thing until it's over, and then you win, I guess. It's an interactive cutscene at best. And I feel like that's why it's annoying, is that at this point, it feels like, you know, people are so sick of games doing this shit. We're so tired of games holding our hands all the time. And I don't even know that it would necessarily even be all that hard anyways. But, you know, easy mode would have been fine. Instead of putting a mode where you can't die, and then that's just... I mean, like, we're sick of having our hands held, I guess that's the point. Modern gaming development, it should be... It should be a little less afraid at this point. I feel like, especially from Nintendo, they should not be, you know, that pissed scared that someone might not like their game enough to the point where if they don't have a fucking invincible ship so they absolutely 100% can get through no matter what, then they're just gonna, like, say, fuck it, this game sucks, and sell it and get rid of it, you know. And I don't know. It's ridiculous, and I know it's harsh to put a lot of that burden on this game for this one mode. It is optional. That's fine. But the mode itself is fucking stupid, and it doesn't really feel like it belongs in a game in general. Like, that should be a cheat code. You should be putting in a fucking cheat code to be invincible, not just picking a fucking mode in the game. Because what's the point at that point, you know? Is there any point? At least make it so, like, maybe even regenerating health for your ship would be fine. Make it so that you don't get hit for a while and your health regenerates. Okay, that way that it is possible for you to die. It is possible, but you have to, be hit constantly, and it would give you some leeway. There are ways, instead of just making it flat out like you can't die, you can't lose. No way to lose, no lose. What's the deal with that? Fuck you!
What's the deal with Sam? What's the